Now, obviously, because we want to be doing a lot of hands-on and practical work during this course, well, we're going to need to set up a lab environment. And we're going to do this using the concept of virtual machines. And if you've never worked with a virtual machine or a VM before, or set up any kind of lab environment like this, well, don't worry, because we're going to walk through it together. But basically, we can think of virtual machines as a separate computer or a system that's running on top or inside of our host system. And the reason why we want to use virtual machines is so that we can deploy things like a separate isolated Windows instance to install our security tools on, and generate artifacts and data, all without having to configure anything or mess with anything on our host, like our normal operating system that we use for day-to-day work. And the other thing is, we're going to be creating some different lab scenarios where we're looking at artifacts that we generate from one system onto another in real time. And so we're going to need to simulate a networked environment to do that. And at most, we're going to have two separate machines or systems running. And so with that, we're going to need both a Windows virtual machine to run all of our Windows commands on and install tools and, learn to investigate Windows hosts, but also we're going to need a Unix-based or a Linux-based operating system. Because, of course, when we think about being a SOC analyst, well, we're not just going to be investigating and working with Windows endpoints, right? Many servers run Linux, and so it's just as important for us to get a good handle on both operating systems. And so we're going to install a Windows 10 machine as well as an Ubuntu machine. And to run our virtual machines, well, we need to install what is known as a hypervisor. And the hypervisor is the thing that actually creates and manages our virtual machines and allows multiple operating systems to, share a single set of hardware. And it provides that layer of abstraction between the physical hardware of our machine and our VMs. And so the hypervisor I'm going to be using, and the one I recommend for the course, is Oracle's VirtualBox. And that's because it's free, it's ready to go, and it's highly featured, and so we can use it to create snapshots. And the installation is also really simple. And so what we're going to want to do on our host machine is just open up our internet browser, and I'm just going to do a search for VirtualBox download. And we should come across this download page here. In reality, we can just go to virtualbox.org, and then just click on Download VirtualBox. And so I will include this actual link down below, as well as some guides if you're trying to install VirtualBox on Mac or Linux, because you can see there's different host packages here for whatever operating system you're running. And so in my case, I'm obviously on Windows, and so I'm going to click on the Windows host option. And that's going to start downloading here. And once we have it downloaded, well, we can locate the installer file, and it should be in our Downloads folder. And so I'm just going to open up Explorer here, go under Downloads, and we can see the installer file. And so I'm just going to double click on it to run. Hit yes to this UAC prompt here. And if you're running into this error message here, well, we can see that we need to have Microsoft Visual C++ 2019 installed. And so we can just search for this package. And so I'm going to click on this Microsoft link here. And again, I'll have this link down below. And here we can find the latest version that we need to download. And so I'm just going to click on x64 here. And then in my Downloads folder, I'm just going to run this installer file. Alright, so that's been installed and we should be good to go now. And so I'm just going to double click on the VirtualBox installer now. And we're ready to start installing. And so I'm pretty much just going to roll with all the default settings here. So I'm just going to hit next. We're going to get a warning about our network interface here. It's just going to temporarily reset and disconnect our connection. Just keep all the defaults selected here, and then click on Install. Alright, looks like that's finished. And so I'm just going to click on Finish here to start up VirtualBox. And there we go. So if you're seeing this window here, well, you're good to go. This is the Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager, and we've successfully installed it on our host. And now we can use it to build out our virtual machines that we use throughout the course. And so let's go ahead and do just that in the next lesson.